Hi guys and welcome back to SwitchUp. So this is episode 2 of our little podcasty type news thing.
Yep.
And we've got a winning name, haven't we?
We have indeed. So we have gone for the SwitchUpdate, which is a very clever play on words, and we will flash the name of who came up with that first on the bottom of the screen. Well done to you.
Giving us a chance to find out who it was.
Absolutely right, yeah. Our first item today then, we have that the Dead Cells game on the Switch has had its 15th free update since launch, which is crazy really, isn't it? This is more of a balancing update from what I've just read, although it does include some new content, including a new enemy and a new path that you can take off from one of the pathways. But we were just saying beforehand, weren't we, that to have 15 free updates, irrespective of whether they're balancing or not, is very impressive, isn't it?
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, what is it? Games like did Shovel Knight do something like that? All the updates have been free?
Shovel Knight has each new part of the game that's been released has been a free update. Yeah,
that's
if
really
you
good.
bought the base game, obviously. Yeah.
It's weird though that's strange.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, "There's an update coming out." You wouldn't even think I've got to pay for it. But then we went the whole like DLC
route,
paying season pass.
Season pass is naughty, isn't it? Yeah, I don't like season passes.
You can't help but think they've limited the content so that they can drip it out on a season pass.
Yeah, and I mean with Dead Cells as well, the fact that it was such a good game to start with anyway. When you look at the review scores, it got across the board. It was really very high up there. And they've added that new content all the way.
There were some great reviews of that game, weren't there?
There were some great reviews, yeah.
Don't mention. No.
That was news for another day.
Yeah.
No, but it's a cracking game, and the fact that they keep supporting it is more power to them.
And it was one of the first games we went to the EGX in London when we were at 1,000 subscribers. Maybe not even that. We were like clawing our way towards 1,000.
Yeah.
And the developers were just so good to us.
Yeah.
They were like, "Yeah, we'll sort you out." And we were like, "Really?" Big stars in our eyes. So that's really cool. The next bit of information that we've got for you is about the invite system on the Nintendo Switch. Now, everything Nintendo do when it comes to online seems to be how would you best describe it?
It's baby steps, isn't it? That's how I would describe it. Nintendo.
That's a nice way of putting it.
It's the truth, to be fair, isn't it? The other companies went down I don't like using the terms hardcore and casual, and I don't mean them maybe in the sense that they get used predominantly, but just in terms of online shooters, that became the mainstay for the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Yeah.
PS3 and the Xbox 360 as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Whereas Nintendo went down another route, and they're catching up, and they're miles behind, let's be fair. But today is another small step along the way, isn't it?
It's very small though, isn't it?
It's a very small step. It's a pigeon.
So the news is essentially that with the latest Switch firmware update, there's a system-wide invite system. Unfortunately, it's obviously got to start somewhere, but it's only currently available in one game, is it?
Yeah, it's the Divinity 2, isn't it?
Which is a great game.
Which is a very good game, and it'll be very welcomed in that game.
Yeah.
It's a shame, you say unfortunately, and I know what you mean, because it would be nice if Nintendo threw their hat behind it and said, yep, here it is, we're going to support it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it feels like they're a bit like...
tentative.
Well, almost like... I mean, everyone knew that a mobile app wasn't a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone knew that was a crap idea. It's almost like they're like begrudging. Do you know what I mean?
There's like pride behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Like they stood in the corner like, all right. Like they don't want to support it fully because they're annoyed they didn't do it themselves. Well, they have done it themselves, but they didn't do it first.
It just wasn't the popular way, wasn't it? There's a way that works. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you say things. This is an opinion. This is not the truth. But I get the impression with Nintendo that if they don't think of it first, they'll try something else.
Yeah.
Almost to just say, no, we're not going to copy that. We're going to try something else. And then sometimes accept that actually, right, fair enough. We'll
they release like an inflatable hat you have to wear to connect to friends. And you have to like headbutt each other.
And then they think, all right, maybe this is not the best way.
Why didn't that work? You can go into the multiplayer lobby, press the invite friends button, system UI. So it's a system built-in UI prompt rather than the old per game systems. So once hopefully it's implemented, you can invite anyone whether they're in your game or not, or whether you've just played with them. Let's be honest, the system was rubbish. It's so... I'm not talking about it anymore. Enough.
Well, yeah, it's a step in the right direction, isn't it?
Exactly.
Let's just hope it's embraced and used properly.
Exactly that. So in terms of other news, obviously you've got Pokemon coming out this week, and some people seem to get a bit annoyed that we supported Pokemon by mentioning it in their upcoming games list, but don't really see it as support, do we?
No, yeah. I mean, there's this whole movement at the minute called Dexit, isn't there?
Oh, that's what that was.
So,
I thought someone just couldn't spell.
No. So basically, in this new version of the game, they've rebuilt, as far as I understand it, they've rebuilt the character models for the Pokemon. So the ones in the game are only the new Pokemon for this game.
Right.
You won't find any of the older Pokemon. So they're calling it Dexit, which is obviously sorry to spell it out, but it's a play on the Pokédex. Fair enough. It's a play on the Pokédex,
right?
And obviously, because this one takes place in Britain, it's Brexit. Very clever, very shrewd, yeah. So but yeah, we mentioned we just put it in the upcoming games, didn't we? It's an upcoming game, quite a big one to be fair. And a couple of comments said that we were supporting Pokemon. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game. People will buy it,
and I probably will buy it, to be honest.
Yeah, and if people do,
quite fancy a go of it.
Yeah, so what? I mean, if people want to buy it, they want to buy it. It's, if you don't agree with that aspect of it, fair play. I can understand why, but
I have a sneaking suspicion half of these people will then buy it anyway.
Probably.
And probably really enjoy it.
Yeah.
A couple of years down the line, they'll be like, "Oh, it's the best one ever."
Yeah, but it's not about that aspect. If you don't agree with that, that's fair enough. If you've grown up with Pokemon and you want to see Squirtle in the game, I can understand.
I do want to see Squirtle.
I was always a Bulbasaur man myself.
Really?
But whatever.
Bulbasaur.
Yeah, very good, very droll. But at the end of the day, it's not in there. Buy the game, enjoy it, or ignore it, and don't buy it. Save your money. Do what you got to do, but
get over yourself
a little bit. Yeah,
basically. Yeah. So there you go. Pokemon. Who's buying it? Who's I'm really annoyed that we even mentioned it in this video. What was that horror game?
Remothered.
Yeah, Remothered.
Yeah.
That's now decent.
Yeah, that on launch that was very choppy, wasn't it? The frame rate was
very choppy is a very nice
generous
thing
way
of
putting it.
yeah.
But it's been patched.
Yeah.
And
looks semi-decent
runs
now.
better now, doesn't it?
It runs better. You can actually see what's on screen rather than this like blurry blob of a person running. It was awful.
Right, so we're going to have a quick chat about some of the games we've been playing this week, which I think is a nice little feature to add in this. We did it last week and it was well received.
Many of the games that we've been playing have just been targeted towards a review. But I'm not going to lie, in my downtime, which he probably already knows, what have I been playing?
The Witcher 3? All the time?
The Witcher 3 all the time. It's such a good game. Oh man, I'm a good 50 to 100 into this on the Switch now.
Oh really? That much?
I found a few moments, a few gaps.
Is that why that review never went out on time?
Just less of that. I bought that. My own hard-earned cash. So yeah, The Witcher 3, everyone knows about the game. We've got a review of it on the channel. We'll stick the link in the description. But it's really been nice because there's been a lot of people who have played it for the first time on the Switch. And just seeing their comments pop up, I've put some guy, he's put in 200 hours, 250 hours since our review came out.
Oh wow.
And he just posted on there this is one of my best games ever.
Nice. Yeah, that's good.
It's great, isn't it? And I worry when I say such glowing things, especially about a port that's not as good as the other versions,
But that's again, to kind of divert a little bit, but when we come back to this argument about ports, a port is only a port if you've played it before. Do you know what I mean? If you've never played it before, it's a new game as far as you're concerned, isn't it? Yeah, whack on a t-shirt, we'll sell it, no worries. But it's true though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean? And if it's a new game as far as you're concerned, it's worth playing, isn't it? It's worth experiencing for the first time wherever you play it. And
that's another argument for, there's this whole group of people that, the Switch just gets ports, that's a bad thing. But for us personally, we're at the stage of our lives whereby we don't get the time to enjoy those bigger experiences unless you can play it on the go.
Yeah, and this is not to Switch owners that are completely oblivious to the rest of the gaming world. I've got a PS4. I know we're a big PC gamer for most of your life. But the Switch is portable. We're both family men. It's so much easier to play them on this system. And if they didn't come to it, we'd miss out once again.
Exactly that.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly that. And that's for me the best thing. Just being able to play those titles that before. I'll be honest with you, at the start of the Switch's life, I was looking back at my PC oh man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I miss those games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you look to PS4 and you see games like Horizon Zero Dawn, is it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that looks amazing. I do like visuals, I must admit, and I like those big experiences. So The Witcher 3 is a win, even for when, and it's probably our next talking point, because it's one of the questions, when the Switch Pro arrives. Yeah.
In terms of what I've been playing this week, I've actually got into Pinball FX 3.
Nice.
The Zen pinball game.
Did that code work for the the add-on.
Yes, so I'll talk about that now. So Pinball FX Free is a game where you download the game for free, but then you purchase the tables that you want.
Right.
So there's been one. We got a code for one of the more recent ones, which was the monster Halloween themed ones for Creature of the Black Lagoon, and which is a classic film. You haven't seen it, have you? You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Does he live in a Black Lagoon?
It's one of the Universal monster movies.
He's looking at me like I'm a monster. He's like, how can you not have seen this Creature of the Black Lagoon? I was off watching Hitchcock's Birds, yeah? Knowledge.
Gilman from the Creature of the Black Lagoon is seen as one of the unofficial Universal monsters. So,
am I the only one that does? Actually, I do know who Gilman is. He's that weird looking fish bloke.
Yeah, that lives in a Black Lagoon. Yeah.
So that's what that is.
Yeah. So you've got your Dracula, you've got Frankenstein's monster.
I'm just feeling pleased with myself that I know who Gilman was.
He's kind of in that.
Is he iconic? Is it like
very
else?
iconic?
Like,
well, I'd say anyone knows, but he's an iconic monster from that era.
But be honest,
50s.
Do you know who Gilman is? And if you don't.
Anyway, back to what I was saying.
Sorry, Glen.
So we got a download for that, those tables, and they're very good, by the way. But I own a few others on there as well. Some that I bought, some that you get for free when you downloaded it, as an incentive to do it. Now, I love the Pinball FX free game, but this again comes back to why I wish they'd release this on a physical with all tables included, and I'd happily drop 35 quid for it.
Yeah.
They have a league system, which is really, really good. So basically, you play a set number of pinball tables that they've selected. Yeah, so it's not multiplayer in the popular sense. You don't play against someone else, but it will take your score and it will give it to someone else to try and beat, and then you'll get points for beating it.
So you get given their score to try and beat?
To beat up against. And
how does that come up on your screen?
So it will have the gamer name of the person, it will have their score, and then you have 3 scores that you can choose from.
In your friends lists? Or?
No, just random, just someone.
Oh, nice.
You have 3 scores to choose from, they're worth a different amount of points each to try and get up the leaderboard, you know what I mean? But the problem with it is that if you then get promoted, like I did last week, the next tier, the 4 tables, I wasn't saying it like that, the 4 tables that are available, I don't own any of them. So now I can't do anything, I've just got to wait and get relegated the next week and start again.
That should not be the case.
It should either choose from the tables you have. I have about 10 out of 50, so I have enough you'd like to think it could choose from. Or just release it physically with all of it included, and I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
It's that whole thing again, isn't it?
I don't like buying stuff digitally when I can help it.
I
love pinball. I love Zen Pinball, the company. They're amazing. The tables they make are fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's not about money. I think they're priced well. I just don't like buying stuff digitally when I can help it. If they put it on a physical cartridge, I'd be able to buy it and I could play that league.
Yeah.
It would be great. And it just bugs me a little bit that that's in there.
It's a bit of a cheeky move, though.
It's a little bit cheeky. It's like if you don't play, you're going to get relegated. You need to buy a table sharpish, you know.
There's the footballer.
I didn't enjoy that. That annoyed me a little bit.
So you guys posted on a community post some questions that you wanted us to discuss, and we're going to do exactly that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Corey, absolute legend.
Yeah,
let's start with Corey.
Man,
So his question is, what genre do you think needs more love on the Switch? For me personally, first-person shooters.
Yeah.
Like I like Call of Duty. I know not everyone does. I prefer Battlefield, but let's be honest, the CPU in the Switch would probably explode. Although having said that, The Witcher 3, so that's not true.
Yeah.
I would personally like some more tactical first-person shooter games. Whether that or not that's to do with the online functionality of the Switch, I don't know. But I don't know why we haven't had Call of Duty.
I think the one I'm going to say is probably been fixed, but I would say racing games still.
Yeah.
I think you got kart racers, there's a fair few of those.
Yeah.
You do have a few more realistic, although still quite arcadey ones, things like Grid. WRC8 is out this week.
Yeah.
We'll have a review of that out, may even be out before this, we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
But I do still think there's some room to improve the racing genre on the Switch.
Yeah, but not the kart racing.
No, leave that for now.
We're happy with
what we got.
Garfield, everyone else.
Race with Ryan.
Thanks Ryan.
Cheers,
stopping by.
And apologies for names if we get names wrong. I'm reading it off a tiny screen as it is. This is Marnex Sluters. I hope I've said that right. I'm sorry if I haven't. He said, I have a son who's 1.5 years old and I'm looking forward to playing games with him. What are the first games that you played with your children? And did you educate them on the classics like Mario and Zelda? So first game that I played with my daughter, well, actually, the first game I ever played with her was a game called Carnival Games, which is like one of those.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It's like a cheap, you use the motion controls. It may have been.
Or 2K.
Yeah, 2K, I think it was. But you move the controller to throw a hoopla and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At the age that she was, she absolutely loved it. Do you know what I mean? And it was funny because I was trying to be precise and get it over the peg, and she was just waggling it about and beating me completely. It was a nice time.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly right. But that was probably the first game I played with her. But to answer the second part of the question about the classics, she actually loves the Super Nintendo app.
Mm-hmm.
So we've played a few games on there together. We've played Joe and Mac in co-op, two-player co-op.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, she enjoys that one actually, even though she finds it difficult. And Star Fox, funnily enough, it's not one.
Really?
Or Star Wing, not one I thought she'd enjoy of the ones that are on there, but she really enjoyed that as well. So yeah, she's definitely classically trained.
The first game that we played together was actually Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
So we used to make little videos with her kind of speaking, and we'd make up stories. There's a channel of that somewhere on YouTube. I'll let you find that. But yeah, she used to really enjoy that game, and it was kind of her first introduction to. And I liked it because it had that creation aspect. It's not just go in and kill everything or whatever. It had a purpose to it. Since then, for me, it's the old school kind of adventure titles that you played. Mario 64, I would have been there just running around doing nothing. We said that, didn't we?
Yeah, just exploring. Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah.
We forget that as adults.
Yeah,
You're like, how many things do I need to get? What do I need to do next? They just run around. They're living the dream.
Your son does that on Lego City Undercover. He just drives about.
I'm like, have you done any missions? He's only 3.
Yeah. And
he's just like, he doesn't care. Just gets into cars, runs over, and runs into a few fields. Is shovelware an issue on the eShop? From Obsolete Paul. Yeah. That 100%. Yeah, it's always going to be when it gets easier to release games with less moderation from Nintendo. It's Steam, isn't it? It's what we said last week.
The thing is, when probably going back to the Wii U, where a lot of these sort of cheap games started appearing, and the word shovelware was being brought up often.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was of the opinion that if people want to play it, let them play it. Do you know what I mean? If it's a game for everyone, why not? But I do have to admit that it's got to a point now where I don't see how anyone would look at some of these games and go, are you having a laugh? You know what I mean? Like, really? So I do think there's a fine line between not being an elitist and saying, oh, that's rubbish, I'm not having that on my Switch. But at the same time, there being quality control. There needs to be a middle ground, doesn't there?
100%. Yeah. 100%. I mean, I've always been someone that likes to find those obscure titles, and it works well for things like hidden gems lists, because there'll always be those companies that it looks like shovelware until you play it. Yeah, we've had a few of those, haven't we?
Absolutely.
And you're like, wow, that's a great game.
I think cheap doesn't have to mean bad in the same way expensive doesn't have to mean good.
No, just like the Big Adventure. It's a copy of Loco Roco, but it's a great game.
Yeah.
Weirdly, it's disappeared off all the eShops.
I've seen a few comments about that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, if anyone knows what that's about, let us know, because it's a good game. Hope they can. Well, yeah, there you go. Because so someone just said, what do you think about the Nintendo Switch UI? In fact, let's give them a shout out. DJ for Governor, nice name, has said about what do we think about it? Should there be color chat and apps? Well, it's what we said before, isn't it? It's that slow integration of everything that kind of winds people up.
But again, if this were Sony or Microsoft, you get to a point where you'd think, it's been too long now, they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Nintendo, you never know. They would leave it ages and then still introduce something that people say, well, why didn't you do that 3 years ago? It's easy. You know what I mean? Is it going to come? Probably, just in their own time. Should it be there? Yeah, most definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
Even just the UI colour change.
The colour change, but the folders is one that a lot of people talk about, because again, the 3DS and the Wii U had it, so why not do it? You can organise your games, it's nice and easy. It just seems like such a win, doesn't it?
It's genuinely an issue. I've got, 700 games now on the Switch. I cannot find games anymore.
Yeah.
Because when you scroll down on the Switch, especially if you've got an SD card, it doesn't load the images as quick as you scroll.
Yes.
So you actually have to stop and stop. And it can take you 10-15 minutes to find a game, which is crazy.
Yeah. But even if you look at the NES app, the online app, if you go into that, so obviously that's almost a folder in and of itself. You go into it to see your games. Because they've released so many and they've released variants of the same game, it's a mess again. It's just odd, isn't it?
We've kind of discussed what. So Joel says, what feature outside of games would most improve the Switch for you? So like themes, browser, Netflix, direct messaging.
I don't understand why there isn't a browser on it. And I know that a lot of people say, well, I can use my tablet for that, I can use this for that. Yeah, and you can, of course you can, but it's nice when you've got everything in one place, isn't it? You know, in the same as YouTube. I mean, I haven't used the YouTube app on the Switch a lot, but having it there when I want to watch something and I've got my Switch to hand is convenient, isn't it?
It just makes sense, doesn't it? It doesn't cost them anything. It's already built into the architecture. They're just worried that kids are going to get on stuff and it's going to become Nintendo, you know, a kid watches blah 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 on Nintendo.
Again, and I feel like I've said this about 4 times in this.
They've already done it?
They've done it. They did it on the 3DS and they did it on the Wii U. So I just don't understand. Every argument that you have, which is a feasible argument until you realise they've done it before. Yeah. You know, that's what's strange about it.
So there you go. So you'd say a browser?
I'd like a browser on there, just for convenience, yeah.
I personally liked, like when I had my Xbox, I liked the messaging features. I liked being able to send a message to a pal and go, look, oh, you've not done great on that game. Actually, do you know what I want? It's what I've wanted the whole time. Do you know what I'm going to say?
No, go on.
A trophy system.
Okay.
I love trophies. Like, I'm a huge nerd. I remember Dead Space, working through for the Platinums on those. For me, it incentivizes games you haven't played in a while. I like that.
See, I'm going to be controversial and completely disagree.
There you go.
For very personal reasons, I've got nothing against trophies. I think they're brilliant, and if they came to the Switch, I think it would be great. But I got over-obsessed with them, and I started... I
remember.
I would play games just to get the trophy, and it sucked all the enjoyment out of the game. And actually having it on the Switch where I can't trophy hunt because there are no trophies, just put me back on the straight and narrow. Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
So it's only for me. Like, I'm not saying anything about trophies. I think they're a good idea, but it's almost been refreshing for me to play a system and play a game because I want to play it, not because I want that last trophy.
I was a trophy addict.
Exactly.
How many days has it been?
Quite a few, actually. There you go. Quite a few.
Yeah, no, I get that, but that's what I like.
I do agree that it would be good for the system as a whole. Yeah,
definitely.
Selfishly though,
So the next one comes from Psalm67, a good friend of ours, isn't he?
Yeah,
good guy.
Very good man.
I think he's Irish, and he does all of our little timestamps.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll timestamp this video. But he asks about the Switch Pro. He says, is it something that you would buy? Yeah, I think we all know the answer to that question.
Yeah, but again, I would say unless the only way they can do it is by making it exclusively a home console. If it lost the portability aspect, then I wouldn't see the point playing my PS4 instead.
I've seen a lot of people saying, I promise you, the next Switch, the Pro, will be portable only. That would be nonsense.
Home only.
Yeah, home only.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
If it were that, then I mean, I would buy it.
I'd go out and get a PlayStation again.
Well, this is it, isn't it? Yeah. As long as it kept the portability, then 100% yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Basically, let's be honest, they've already done it. The new chip revision can be overclocked 25% or more. Let me know down in the comments. They've already done it in the hacking community.
It was on The Witcher, wasn't it?
They've managed to get The Witcher up to almost 60 frames per second, which is unbelievable. So yeah, every day of the week.
Right, the last question then, I did find it. So it was Speedy Gonzalez, another regular on the channel. Thank you. Which past favourite Nintendo game would you like to see on the Switch? I'm going to tweak your question slightly because it's going to be a third-party game. It's not going to be a Nintendo first-party. For me, it has to be Turtles in Time. Like, if it were a perfect world and there were no licensing issues, 100% Turtles in Time. It's my favourite game, probably of all time. I'm a huge Turtles fan, always have been. I'd love to have it on the Switch. But another series I'd like to see come over, which is probably more realistic, is the Fatal Frame series, which was on the Wii U, was on the Wii, has obviously been on other consoles previously. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Alright, it's a horror series where you have a camera, I think it's called the Camera Obscura. It's been
is there a fish man in it?
No, that's the... You're getting your horror mixed up now. We need to do Horror 101 on this channel.
No, we don't. No.
You have a camera and it picks up spirits and ghosts. And I find ghosts scarier than monsters in a game.
Right.
And it's very eerie. And it's probably the scariest. The second one, Fatal Frame 2, was probably the scariest game I played. I remember playing it in a dark room and thinking, no, I've had enough. Like, it's too much for me. It's too intense, and I turned it off for that night.
I actually want Nintendo 64 games. Personally, I don't know if anyone else does.
Well, as they are, just port it over.
Yeah, just bring them across. I must admit, like, there's a few, like Majora's Mask I never got to finish. I think because it was my brother's N64 and he nicked it. So he was like, I'm having this now because I went a bit crazy on it. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't mind those. I know everyone's played them 100 times. They'd probably overcharge for them. Make them part of the live.
The online, yeah.
Maybe they will.
Well, that was what people thought was going to be the plan with that and GameCube games, which people have wanted since the Wii U and has never materialised. Yeah. Things like Eternal Darkness would be another good shout, by the way. That would be a good game. We probably will stick with the questions. If you want to pop a question on either on this video here for next time, and we'll include some next time. So I hope you enjoyed it. And again, thank you for watching.
Lovely. For all things Switch, all the time.
Keep it Switch up.
Wait for it.
Morning.
See ya.
Such a nerd.
You love it. Where's his plushies, eh?
Nice one.